At everyone. I really didn't want to resort to this, but the unending harassment stirred up by some of the content creators I had the misfortune of interacting with just won't end no matter how much I recede in my shell and focus on my work. My inactivity on the server and withdrawal from the community is a direct result of it, and perhaps was a mistake. I will not allow myself to be trolled off of my own platform, so if these individuals and collectives insist on discussing me out in the open, despite me holding my peace for over a year, I shall oblige them and simply add to my side of this never-ending story. Number 1. Howley. I've always viewed Howley as a talented writer and a charming person. I was very pleased to know that he supported my VN and wanted to make acquaintance, but it quickly became clear that none of it was genuine. Howley, just as his associates, lent his support to Far Beyond the World out of pity and politeness, because he viewed it as a project that will never amount to anything. Once, to his surprise, it did. Howley began to perceive me and Far Beyond the World as a threat, and our relations quickly soured. Imagine, taking yourself, fucking having that big of an ego that you're like, oh yes, I am a threat, fuck off. I was never harassing Howley during the short time we DM'd with each other. In fact, Howley was the one insisting on me maintaining communication due to his depressive and isolated state. As a friend at the time, I did exactly that, many times suffering abuse of some kind, inevitably asking if I should perhaps stop engaging with him, as I didn't think it helped. I even suggested to him shifting his attention to other better-equipped people in his circles, which he was ignoring in my favor. But each time Howley was adamant that he wanted to talk with me and apologize for his unstable state, asking that I continue messaging him. So I did. I even sacrificed my Valentine's Day to talk things out with him, sabotaging not one, but 2 Far Beyond the World releases, as some of our calls lasted up to 8 hours at a time. I find it heartbreaking and disappointing that Howley not only threw me under the proverbial bus, but in fact never even attempted to correct the falsehoods that were in part thanks to his purposeful vagueness in all of his public statements. He is not scared or afraid of me, he just doesn't want to be called out. As to me influencing Howley in any shape or form during our short-lived friendship, both me and several others had to listen to hour-long complaints about his dislike of the Echo server and his problems with the Echo team. What type of fucking business is it of yours to, dry out Howley's laundry like that? Come on, dude, the fuck is your problem? Get therapy. Let's see. He often outlined how problematic the teamwork had become, and how much it affects his work on Echo and Adastra. On many occasions, he also mentioned other projects being artificially brought under the Echo brand for no reason but self-promotion and funding, which he wasn't happy about. I had nothing to do with any of these things. These ideas were all in Howley's head from the start, and I'm not the only witness to these conversations. I find it unfair that the blame shift from his failing relationship with his coworkers was easier to be shifted onto me, instead of being resolved internally. If you have trouble believing this, ask yourself one question. How on earth would I have any say in Echo Team's funds? It is a ridiculous, malicious lie. 2. Echo Team. I've had severely distasteful interactions, he's typing, with the Echo Team, most of which boils down to very dismissive and arrogant behavior when coordinating modding. On multiple occasions when we found a person committing a serious infraction, we informed other servers out of courtesy. None treated us as if poorly as Echo did in each instance, with our mods being talked down to as if they were children. I guess it's just how Echo rolls. Ever since they allowed toxic behavior to be left unchecked, a lot of our members have sought shelter here. I have dozens upon dozens of DMs from thankful Adastra fans for creating this safe haven, where they aren't berated for liking VN A or B. This clear exodus only adds to the bitterness from the other side, and instead of focusing on the clearer problems with their moderation style, they decided to stir and target harassment at me. And here I want to draw your attention to the most vocal hater in the Echo Team, who just can't stop talking about me, George. I spoke to George for a short while at the very beginning of Far Beyond the World, and at first it was pleasant enough. We seemed to have a common enough ground on the books we enjoyed and the writing styles we pursued, but soon enough George tried to coerce me into changing parts of the story he didn't like. Each time I tried to politely thank him, he got more and more unreasonable, to the point where he called my VN homophobic and me a homophobe just because... Let's see. Just because I had I hope my fucking thingamabobs. Oh yeah, no. That's like a whole new message. Okay, I thought he was like deleting shit or editing something. That would have been pretty shitty because he's done that in the past. Each time I tried to politely thank him, he got more and more unreasonable, to the point where he started calling my VN homophobic and me a homophobe, just because I had bi and straight representation. George made it clear that he firmly believes that there's no place for straight representation in LGBT literature, and I disagreed. I tried to de-escalate, but he just wouldn't let go, so I had to block him. After that, he sent after me his friends to harass me in DMs. Oh wow, you couldn't just, like, press the fucking block button? Like, nice one, dumbass. I don't know why you didn't just do that, but okay. Very professional and totally not unhinged behavior. Lastly, something I personally cannot let go, is the directed attack by Echo Team on my Patreon model. I find it rich that the server has a clear track record of delays in magnitude of months, not weeks, and whose entry tiers were 3 times out of mine, with updates barely consisting half an hour a read, is tirelessly accusing me of scamming people out of their money. I mean, you kind of were scamming people for like a good 3 months, like a while ago, for like $1,000 a month. You remember that? Shut up. Thankfully, most of our audience is generous enough to not pay it any mind, but unfortunately some do. I have received plenty of messages and exit poll naming Echo and their lies as the main reason for the withdrawal of support. I have been quiet about this, but they're going after my livelihood and that I cannot abide. People in glass houses shouldn't be throwing stones, because I can also make observations based on the Echo Team Patreon operation, and unlike theirs, mine wouldn't be as baseless. Number 3, Minotaur Hotel. Oh boy, is he gonna try and justify how he, like, faked ratings to, like, lower their shit? Like, oh boy. I was approached by the Minotaur Hotel people before I even published the first chapter of Far Beyond the World. They have their theories on writing and VN making collected into things I like to call pamphlets, which they send to every aspiring VN creator they find. Some of that material is helpful, but most of it simply states how bad your idea is. Let's see. Stupid thing my laptop looks like. Okay. If it doesn't follow Minotaur Hotel's model. Back then, they claimed to be the #1 furry VN on an itch, and I mean, they were, though? It's not, well, I mean, it's not as if they weren't, it's not as if they were lying, because they were the rating, like, #1, you know, for, like, a bit, so, and I can understand being proud of that, so shut up. In their minds, they are the best, and you should do exactly as they say, otherwise you will fail. Since I didn't start writing my story to have it hijacked directly or indirectly by some random strangers, I decided to follow my own path, which for some reason was seen as a great insult. Ever since Minotaur Hotel and its affiliates started making doomsday predictions about Far Beyond the World, and paying close attention to relating to anything remotely related to my VN, it got to a point where detailed counts of most bizarre statistics are being calculated, including day counts between updates and their projected publication of future ones. It was downright psychotic, and I asked them if they could stop, as a lot of the misinformation they had spread was written in such an authoritative manner that many of our members thought it would be more biting and official than anything I had to say. As always, this wasn't taken kindly. From that point onwards, all discussion about my VN turned very sour, and a wave of harassment ensued from the FBN server, which at the time was the Mino server in all but name. I tried my best to stay clear from them, but not long after I'd been DM'd by one of their developers asking me to investigate some of our community members because they left 1-star reviews on Minotaur Hotel. It were 3 people that I didn't even, let's see, it were 3 random people, out of which I only knew 1. I find it completely out of place to harass anyone over their ratings, so I refused to DM the reviewers, to which the Minotaur Hotel, yeah, you refused to DM the reviewer except for when you were telling him to, like, leave 1-star reviews and give good reasons why. Yeah, sure, like, okay, okay, I believe you. So which the Minotaur Hotel devs threw a fit accusing me of review bombing, which he was. After that time, Minotaur Hotel closed off their ratings temporarily, but while the rating was closed, Minnow kept mysteriously gaining 5-star reviews. Gee, it's almost as if they were like a good game or something. Keep coping. While I raised this issue with them and asked for an explanation, I was attacked, and ever since Minotaur Hotel kept insisting that I'm the one manipulating the rating system. You are! Dude, there are not even screen caps, it's like in this fucking notice board, dude. Hold on a minute. Hold on, bro. Hold on, there's literally a message of you up here going, I keep getting review bombed. Can you all rate me 5 stars? And it has like 100 something fucking like heart emotes. Like, you can't say that isn't manipulating shit. Come on, dude. Hold on a second here. Yeah, look, see, every 5-star he gives us help keep fire. Yeah, look at this shit. I remember the strategic down rating. Quit fucking lying. What the hell's the matter with you? Like, come on. You can't even cover up your tracks. Like, come on, dude, if you're gonna be doing that. And I could show the screen caps, but they're already in the Echo server, so it doesn't fucking matter. Let's see. While I raised this issue with them and asked for an explanation, I was attacked, and ever since Minotaur kept insisting that I'm the one manipulating rating system, which you are. Since then, Far Beyond the World has been receiving dozens of fake downvotes on itch with abusive notes attached to them, linking the attacks directly to either Echo or Minotaur. How do you know that? What do they be like? Yo, Echo sent me, or yo, Nanoff sent me. Like, who the fuck does that? I think you're lying, honestly, unless you have like legitimate proof and not like Photoshop bullshit. Like, I don't know, Chief. Do you see now how this works? Everything I'm being accused of is pretty much the very same thing those people do. It's victim blaming, through and through. Please believe me. In any case, I want to make it absolutely clear, I haven't been in touch with any and all of them for over a year. I also didn't want to waste time talking about them either. Any drama that erupts from time to time seems to be stirred in order to divert the audience's attention during a content drought or to target the Far Beyond World releases. And here we are. Let's see. Stupid thing. I apologize for this long-winded message, but I just had to finally speak up. In my defense, this targeted abuse and online bullying has to stop. Regards, Kael. At everyone, P.S. I want to make it absolutely clear that this post in no way advocates any sort of action, he said, having actively sent out fucking White Knights, which is probably how he, like, found out everything in the Echo server. He, like, legit has people planted in there, so whatever. I am not calling on you to cut your support or to any or all of them. Their stories are still objectively good. I still personally love Adastra despite everything that happened. If you want to see them continue, please do continue supporting them. I like how he said this is damage control, and he only typed it out when, like, a few minutes after I, like, posted the initial fucking clip of me dubbing his message, and then he, like, typed this out. So he doesn't mean any of this, mind you. Also, please do not attack or harass any of them, be it openly or in DMs. I'd be very disappointed to learn that our members have stooped to their level. This post was made simply to debunk and deflect the false statements that are being commonly circulated about me. Nothing more. Regards, Kael. So yeah, that entire post was bullshit and schizobabble. That's my thoughts. Have yourself a good night, friend, because there's like a whole ass hour-long video exposing you and your methods. There are screen caps out now of you actively manipulating ratings. In this fucking notice board, even, there's a point with you trying to, like, emotionally manipulate your audience. So, shut the fuck up, block people, and get therapy. I hope you get help, Kael. I sincerely do, because you are legitimately insane. That's all I have to say. Ta-ta.